Hey guys, it's F1 March 26 here, and welcome back to the F1 League, and we're here for round 6 of Season 3 at Canada, coming to start our qualifying lap now. We've just come off the back of a Tier 2 win around this track, because the Tier 2 race is right before this, and in qualifying for Tier 2, we actually got pole with a 1 minute 12.6, so we'll be hoping to match, if not better, that in this session, but I've been consistently doing low 13s, maybe the odd high 12, so it's going to be very difficult as we nail the apexes for turn 3 and 4 there, coming through to the end of the first sector, and it's pretty good through there, and we need to try and get a good line through here to propel us down this straight. Good exit, not too much wheel spin there, coming towards the probably third chicane on the track. Very easy to cut and extend here, which we avoid nicely before coming towards the hairpin at the end of the second sector / the start of the third sector, and as you can see there's a Williams there, Pro Racing 69, and he's distracted me and I've missed my braking point by an absolute mile, so that will cost us a tenth or so that's not ideal, but at least it's given us a reasonable exit down the straight now, opening our DRS up into 8th gear, and we need to spot the 100 meter board for our braking point, coming down into the final chicane, clipping the first and second apex nicely, going for the straight run to the line, and we'll see what the time is. It's a 1 minute 13.041. I couldn't improve on that, but it got me my best qualifying result of the season in P5. Dizzy Cupid on pole ahead of RBZ and Dan the Man, with Hamilton Fan in 4th, me in 5th, the Silent Mole in 6th, and Camundo in 7th. So now coming to start the race, as you can see it's dry, thankfully, and hopefully it stays that way, because I hadn't done any practice in the race. In the rain, sorry, and we'll just see the grid once again, and as you can see it's Arte, Pro Racing, Hickey, Grumpy Line, Lexbox 1 and Casey at the back, so not the greatest qualifying for them, especially Pro Racing, who's a title contender. As you can see going up the grid there, you can see me in 5th, the Dan the Man in 3rd, RBZ in 2nd, and Dizzy on pole. So then, looking at the race strategy, the game is telling me to do a one-stop. And I did a lot of practice for this race and decided that the one-stop was much slower than two-stop, so we'll be going for that. And it's 5 lights, and that's lights out, and away we go. It looks like some people have got a lag start there, me included, as I'm getting mugged by the Silent Mole and Camundo. So we brake very late there, a bit of contact with Dan the Man, but nothing major, and then there's more contact, and he kind of spins me into the Silent Mole there, and we were able to save it, but we've got a poor exit. We've got Camundo on our outside and Sam on our inside. We squeezed Camundo out there, but he was hardly alongside. Sam cuts the corner a bit, and there's contact in the background between Carroll and Camundo. I believe Camundo got a puncture from that, and Carroll lost his wing, so very unfortunate for those guys. But we're settling into P7, so not the greatest start. We've lost 2 positions, but 7th is still good. Now coming to the end of the first lap, we can see Dan the Man has been spun. He had a collision with Hamilton Fan, no surprises there. And we've reclaimed P6, but Lexbox 1, who's also in the GP2 race, he finished 3rd there, is looking very competitive on our back as we touch Sam coming into turn 1 there, lose the back end, but managed to catch it without anything major happening. But we want to try and get past Sam as quickly as possible, because although Lexbox's pace wasn't quite as good as mine in GP2, his pace is still decent, and if we get stuck behind Sam, he'll be easily able to pass. So coming into the end of the first sector now, Sam's run a bit wide, so we've got a better exit, but we've been boxed in behind them, nowhere for us to go. Putting it up into standard, and Lexbox has already gone up our inside, ducking into the slipstream now, but we're not going to go for a move into that corner, as it'd be very reckless as we cut the corner a bit there, which isn't ideal. Get our first warning of the race. It's on strict warning, so especially with Canada being one of the easiest tracks to corner cut, I expect to see a lot of penalties at the end. So Lexbox has got past us. We won't be able to use DRS to get back past yet, as it's only lap 2, but we'll still be able to slipstream him down into the final corner. I don't think we'll be close enough to do anything though, because he also has the slipstream of Sam as we now come towards the braking zone of the final corner, and we've broken very late into there, and we had to move to the inside to avoid it, as RBZ actually sets the fastest lap on lap 2 there. So he's coming to start lap 3 now. We're still on the back of Lexbox, and we've tapped him as well. Everyone's braking very early into turn 1, or at least earlier than I'm expecting them to do. And we've dropped back, but on the end of lap 3 we still have DRS, but we've misjudged our braking point with the DRS, and we've got a penalty because we clearly gained so much time from that corner cut. But once again, all my penalties were removed as we've got Casey Legend now coming up our inside due to our poor exit from trying to avoid cutting the corner, and we just hang it around the outside into turn 1. But yeah, so all my penalties were removed as I didn't have enough warnings to warrant a penalty from the stewards. So we've now dropped back out of the DRS from Sam and Lexbox, so having a bit of a battle. Sam is still behind at this point, but I'm sure with him being in the DRS he'll be able to get past, and as you can see at the end of lap 5 he has, as we've cut that corner. As you can see, my hand flying off the wheel there because I was not impressed. That was obviously my fault, and Lexbox has moved back alongside Sam and we've managed to catch up a bit there. Lexbox cutting turn 1 a bit there, but he gets the move done up into P5. So good race for Lexbox then. Obviously he didn't do very well, he didn't score points till last round, and now coming into the hairpin on lap 7, I can see Pro Racing has retired there. He was getting lots of penalties, so decided to retire from the race. And we've now lost the back end on lap 8, and we've spun into the wall. That was a stupid mistake. We've lost our wing, but it doesn't matter because this is just going to give us a massive undercut. We've lost a place to Casey Legend as well as Gorsh Crab. But yeah, we're now just going to have a massive undercut because we were going to do the 2-stop anyway, so it hasn't really changed our strategy in any way. As we come towards the pit lane, I think we'll be far enough behind Gorsh Crab that we won't have to lift off coming into the pit lane, as you can see there. Full throttle in. But yeah, that was very unfortunate there. Bit of a mistake for us as we're now dropping to 10th. I suspect we'll drop out the points here as we come in for a new wing and a set of primes. As you can see, the team putting them on the car there. Bit of a slow pit stop there. And we've dropped to 11th behind Lion, who won the last race, of course. I think we'll come out ahead of Carroll, as he, who lost his wing on that one, is a bit behind. So, coming down out of the pit lane now. Yes, we are indeed in P11 as we exit the pit, staying on the right side of the white line there. Now coming to the end of lap 12. Good line through the final corner. We've been pushing very hard as Lion, who was ahead, has actually disconnected. So we move up into P10. As you can see, Lion's car pulling off the track there, and we've got Casey Legend and Hamilton Fan in front of us, going through the final chicane again, nice and clean through there. And Casey Legend and Hamilton Fan are in the pits. I believe they had a collision, so that promotes us up into P8. Next up is Hickey, who is actually trying the 1-stop here, so we should be able to catch him quite a lot when he's on worn rubber, as Hamilton Fan has been disqualified on lap 16. He didn't even make halfway, so that's very poor from him. Now coming through the final corner on lap 16, I believe Hickey and Gorsh Crab are in the pits. Yes, we move up into P6. Next up is Lexbox 1 for P5, who is also in the 1-stop, and as you can see, he's come out the pits there. So we haven't lost too much time in pitting on lap 8, but obviously we have to make an extra stop. Now on lap 20, we're right on the back of Lexbox, so despite the fact that we have 8 lap older tyres, we're still able to keep with him as we come through the final chicane there, trying to get a good exit off it, putting up into Rich. We're pulling alongside Lexbox there, and we get the move done on the DRS. That is a good move from us there. And next up is Sam. He's about 4 seconds ahead, so once again, we haven't lost much time from losing our wing on him either. So anyway, lap 21 now. This is our pit stop lap, our second stop of the race. We're coming in for a set of option tyres to take us to the end of the Grand Prix, and hopefully we'll be able to catch Gorsh Crab, Hickey and Lexbox due to our much fresher rubber as we now come into the box. Team putting on another set of options, much quicker stop than last time, 2.3 I think, as we're coming out in P6, but I'm sure Gorsh Crab and Hickey are going to go past us, as you can see there. We'll come out ahead of Casey Legend, I think, as we now come out right behind Hickey, so we should be hoping to dispatch of him soon. Now coming into the second chicane here, we're trying to get a good exit out of there, which we have done. So we're going to have the DRS, so it should be an easy move, but we're pretty close before the hairpin, so we might go up the inside into the hairpin. We broke it very late there. We've run in deep, so that was very aggressive on my part. I apologise to Hickey if you're watching this video, because it was a very aggressive move. I just didn't spot my braking point, but I still managed to get it stopped, and the move was pretty clean. So thanks Hickey for leaving me the space there. Now next lap on the back of Gorsh Crab, as we're pulling even more alongside, and this time we brake earlier, so Gorsh Crab is able to go round our outside, and he squeezes us to the apex. So our teammate not as willing as Hickey to let us through, but I think he did have an issues with his connection as his internet isn't particularly good. So we've lost a bit of time there. Hopefully it won't cost us later in the race as we're getting back in the slipstream, and the DRS coming down to the final corner. We're going to brake early to try and get a good exit out the corner, which we have done. Gorsh already on 7-lap old prime, so they're not exactly in their prime. I apologise for that horrendous pun right there, as we move up into P6. So at the end of lap 24, Sam is in the pits, and we're going to climb past him. We'll see. We've had an undercut of a few laps as we set our personal best lap, as it's Sam, and there he is. So we're right up his arse, to be honest, and we're going to be trying to get past him. We've still got Arte, who's a lap down, coming out of the pits, and now coming through the chicane. As you can see that Arte has been disqualified from the session there, so unfortunate for him. As we come down towards the hairpin, we're going to get DRS, but our exits from the hairpin throughout the race haven't been very good. So we're putting up the rich mix, but Sam's got a much better exit. He doesn't use traction control, so it's not due to that. But in the DRS, in the slipstream, and we've closed the DRS because we were getting too close. We don't want to try and go for a move into the final chicane, so we're going to try and set him up on the exit. We've got too good an exit. We've gone into the back of his car there, and we're pulling alongside. Can we get the move done into turn 1? We'll have to see as we cut the corner, so we're going to have to let him back through there. That is very unfortunate, as RBZ has disconnected and he was running in P2. So this makes this now a battle for 4th, which makes it much more interesting. So we're going to have to try and get past Sam much later in the race, as we now cut on to lap 29. Sam has caught up to Lexbox as we come through the chicane now, and onto the DRS straight. It's going to look like Sam will get past Lexbox, but it's going to be more difficult for us to do so, because Lexbox will then try and duck back into Sam's slipstream. But Sam's got a much better exit than Lexbox, who's now on 15-lap old primes, and he's going to go round the outside. We're in the slipstream of Lexbox. We're going to follow Sam through, but Lexbox makes a very aggressive defensive move there, and we have to slam on the brakes. So I wasn't exactly pleased with that at the time, as he's dropped us back from him and Sam a little there, but I'm sure we can get the move done later, as his tyres are definitely not in their best condition, as we can see closing up rapidly through turn 1. Going up the inside on the exit of turn 2, but he just out-tractions us with the wide line. So we need to try and get a good run through the chicane, and maybe chuck it up the inside into the end of the final sector, but he seems to have got a reasonable run through there. But we're closing. Are we going to go for it? Yes, we are. Nice move there up the inside, and he cannot hang it around the outside, so we now have to chase after Sam. And now on lap 31, coming through the chicane, and unfortunately my footage ends right about now. So Sam has kindly let me use his footage from the final lap. As you can see, Dizzy Cupid has won the race. I apologise for the light on the screen. And we're right up Sam's gearbox. We've been closing him just in or out of the DRS. Nothing to do any kind of move, but we're pretty close now. But we've missed our braking point. We've gone up the inside of the hairpin. We got a corner cutting penalty for that, and that wasn't a dive bomb. It was me just missing my braking point. Sam's been able to switch back us there, and he's taken P3, so his 3rd podium of the season, 2nd consecutively. Unfortunately, we weren't able to take a podium, which would have been our 2nd in the league after Mexico last season. But Sam comes around the final corner, he celebrates, so thanks to Sam for letting me use his footage, link in the description. As you can see, Carlos Sainz, or Dizzy Cupid, celebrating with the Silent Mole, or Luke, in 2nd, and Sam in 3rd. So Dizzy was rapid around here, Luke had some pretty good pace as well, and Sam just consistently on the podium. And with Pro Racing and RBZ now being 4th, well, Pro Racing broke his disc and rage, and RBZ now cannot race due to personal issues. That moves Sam up to 2nd in the Drivers' Championship. And we can look at the full race result about now. And Dizzy is won the race from the Silent Mole, Sam, me, Lexbox, Casey, Gorsh Crab, Dan the Man, Hickey, although Hickey was actually ahead of Dan the Man when penalties got removed. So thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you next week in Austria. Goodbye.